Communication is the number one issue in most relationships. Shockingly, studies show that nearly 65% of couples say their biggest problem is a lack of communication. In fact, research by the University of Denver found that communication issues are a leading cause of relationship breakdowns, more than finances or even infidelity. But here's the good news: communication problems can be fixed. Imagine this: you and your partner having fewer arguments, understanding each other more, and feeling more connected. Sounds like a dream, right? It doesn't have to be. By focusing on simple, practical strategies, you can start improving your communication today. In this guide, we'll walk you through easy, yet powerful techniques to fix those communication gaps. From understanding nonverbal cues to practicing empathy, you'll discover how to turn your relationship around. By the end, you'll have tools to listen better, speak more clearly, and finally get on the same page with your partner. Ready to dive in and make your relationship stronger than ever? Let's get started. Chapter 1: Silent Storms. Understanding what's really going unspoken in every relationship. Silence can be as loud as words. Research shows that up to 70% of communication is nonverbal, meaning that what we don't say often speaks louder than what we do. Body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice all play significant roles in how we convey our feelings. For example, a study by Albert Mehrabian found that only 7% of communication is words, while 38% comes from tone and 55% from body language. This is why communication problems often start with unspoken feelings. You may feel frustrated, but if you don't express it with words, your partner may not realize there's an issue. Sometimes, even a simple gesture like crossing your arms or rolling your eyes can signal frustration, even if you're not consciously aware of it. A strategy to overcome this is practicing mindful awareness. When you notice yourself becoming upset, take a moment to check in with your body. Are your shoulders tense? Are you avoiding eye contact? By paying attention to these physical signs, you can catch yourself before you shut down or say something you regret. Another tip is to ask for clarification when you sense something is off. If your partner is quiet, instead of assuming they're angry, gently ask, "Hey, you seem distant. Is everything okay?" This simple question can open up communication and prevent misunderstandings. Lastly, be conscious of your tone. You might be joking, but if your tone is off, your partner may interpret it as sarcasm or hurtful. A warmer tone can often disarm tension and make conversations flow more smoothly. Chapter 2: Love's Lost in Translation. Breaking down the communication barriers. Every person has a unique communication style, shaped by their upbringing, culture, and past relationships. This is why sometimes, even with the best intentions, our messages get lost in translation. For example, one partner might value directness, while the other may prefer subtle hints. The result? Misunderstandings. A fascinating study by Dr. John Gottman, a renowned psychologist, shows that couples who communicate openly and with understanding are more likely to stay together. Dr. Gottman's research reveals that the key to successful communication lies in showing empathy and validation. When your partner shares something with you, make sure to acknowledge their feelings, even if you don't fully understand or agree. One effective strategy to avoid these communication pitfalls is mirroring. Mirroring involves repeating back what your partner has said, but in your own words. This shows them that you're listening and that their feelings matter. For instance, if your partner says, "I feel ignored when you're on your phone," you could respond, "I hear that you feel neglected when I'm distracted by my phone. I can see why that would upset you." Another important strategy is checking for understanding. This goes beyond just repeating what was said, it involves asking follow-up questions to dig deeper. For example, you can ask, "What made you feel this way?" Or "How can I make things better?" This shows your partner that you care about their perspective, even if you don't fully grasp it yet. Lastly, let go of the idea that communication should always be clear-cut. Sometimes, people can't express themselves perfectly. It's okay to admit when you don't fully understand. Saying, "I'm not sure I completely get it, but I want to," can open the door to more honest and open communication. Chapter 3: Echoes of the Past. How history affects what you say. We all bring baggage into relationships, and that baggage often impacts how we communicate. A 2019 study by the American Psychological Association revealed that people who experience unresolved trauma or negative past relationships may have difficulty trusting their partners or expressing their true feelings. For example, someone who grew up in a home where emotional expression was discouraged may struggle to open up about their feelings, even in an intimate relationship. They may unknowingly shut down or become defensive when their partner tries to connect. These past experiences are often stored in the subconscious, influencing present-day interactions. A powerful strategy to counter this is to identify and address triggers. Take time to reflect on moments when communication breaks down. Ask yourself, what did I feel in that moment? Does this remind me of something from my past? Recognizing these triggers can help you understand why certain topics lead to conflict and how to handle them better. Another strategy is to have an honest conversation about your past with your partner. Sharing your history, even the painful parts, can create empathy and foster understanding. For example, you might say, "When we argue, I get really anxious, and I think it's because I had a lot of fights growing up. I want to do better, but sometimes it feels overwhelming." It's also helpful to practice forgiveness, not just of your partner but of yourself. Holding on to past mistakes or wounds can cloud your communication. Learning to let go of grudges can clear the air and make way for more positive conversations. As the famous author Maya Angelou said, "Forgiveness is the gift you give yourself." Lastly, work together to create a safe emotional environment where both of you can express your vulnerabilities. It's important to communicate that it's okay to have moments of weakness and that your partner is there to listen without judgment. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more tips and strategies to build stronger, happier relationships. Stay tuned for the next chapter. Chapter 4, The Art of Active Listening, Why Your Ears Are More Important Than Your Words. Listening is more than just hearing words, it's about being fully present. A study by the University of Minnesota showed that couples who engage in active listening experience better emotional intimacy and reduce conflict. But in today's busy world, we often listen half-heartedly, distracted by phones, TV, or even our own thoughts. This can make our partner feel unheard and unloved. The key to active listening is focus. When your partner is speaking, put away distractions and make eye contact. Studies show that maintaining eye contact during a conversation increases trust and rapport. Even if you're hearing difficult emotions, focus on understanding their feelings instead of preparing your response. Another strategy is mirroring what your partner says, which can help you clarify their feelings and show you're truly listening. If your partner says, "I felt ignored when you didn't reply to my message," you could respond with, "I understand that you felt overlooked when I didn't reply. That makes sense." This simple technique helps avoid misunderstandings and creates a safer space for open communication. Empathy is also a crucial part of active listening. It's not enough to just hear. You need to feel. When your partner shares something vulnerable, try to put yourself in their shoes. Author Gary Chapman, in his book The 5 Love Languages, emphasizes how important it is to listen with empathy. He says, "People need to feel understood before they feel loved." A great way to improve your listening skills is by engaging in reflective listening. After your partner shares something, pause and reflect back their feelings. This shows that you're not just hearing the words but also understanding the emotions behind them. For example, "It sounds like you're frustrated because I haven't been as present lately. Is that right?" Lastly, remember that listening is a skill that needs constant practice. The more you practice active listening, the easier it becomes to truly connect with your partner and avoid communication breakdowns. Chapter 5, Turn Down the Volume, Tuning into Your Emotional Frequency. In every conversation, emotions are constantly in the mix. A survey from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that couples who can regulate their emotions have healthier and longer-lasting relationships. Unfortunately, many of us struggle to manage our emotions, especially during arguments, which can lead to heightened tension. One important strategy to prevent emotional escalation is pausing. When you feel your emotions rising, take a deep breath and give yourself a moment before responding. The simple act of pausing can help you regain control over your reactions. As therapist Dr. Julie Hanks explains in the Assertiveness Guide for Women, taking a pause allows you to respond thoughtfully, not react impulsively. Another strategy is reframing negative emotions. If you're feeling angry, instead of focusing on the anger, try to reframe it as frustration or hurt. For instance, instead of saying, "I'm so mad at you," you can say, "I'm frustrated because I feel like my needs aren't being met." Reframing helps to communicate your feelings without sounding accusatory, making it easier for your partner to listen and empathize. Use I statements instead of you statements. This technique, taught by many communication experts, helps prevent defensiveness. For example, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," try, "I feel unheard when you don't respond." This subtle shift in wording can dramatically change the tone of a conversation. If you're feeling overwhelmed, it's okay to take a break. Dr. John Gottman, in his book The 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work, advises couples to step away from heated situations and cool down before revisiting the conversation. Research shows that taking a 20-minute break during an argument can help you both approach the situation with a clearer mind. Lastly, practicing emotional validation can go a long way. When your partner is upset, acknowledging their feelings without judgment or immediate solutions shows that you understand and care. A simple "I can see why you'd feel that way" can create a sense of emotional safety, which is crucial for productive communication. Chapter 6: The 5-Minute Connection. Creating rituals that make communication flow. Communication isn't always about big, deep conversations. Often, it's the small, consistent moments that make the difference. A study published in the Journal of Marriage and Family found that couples who engage in small rituals, like daily check-ins, experience higher relationship satisfaction. These small, regular interactions build trust and strengthen the emotional bond over time. One of the best communication rituals is the 5-minute connection. This is a simple, daily practice where you take 5 minutes to check in with your partner. Ask how their day was, what's on their mind, or if anything has been bothering them. The key is to make it a routine, so it doesn't feel forced or overwhelming. The power of these small moments lies in their consistency. Studies show that couples who engage in regular, brief conversations are better equipped to navigate conflict. It's much easier to address a small issue every day than to let it build up into something bigger. Another useful ritual is the gratitude practice. At the end of each day, share one thing you appreciate about your partner. Research from the Greater Good Science Center at UC Berkeley shows that expressing gratitude can improve relationship satisfaction and emotional well-being. Even a simple "I love how you made time to listen today" can have a huge impact. Nonverbal rituals can also strengthen communication. Holding hands while talking, giving each other a quick hug, or sharing a look across the room can convey more than words ever could. These small gestures signal to your partner that you are emotionally connected, even without saying anything. Lastly, unplugging during your quality time is essential. Put away the phones, turn off the TV, and just be present with each other. This small act of focus shows your partner that they are your priority. Dr. Sherry Turkle, author of Reclaiming Conversation, argues that our constant digital distractions are eroding real conversations, and couples need to prioritize face-to-face connection. Creating these small, consistent rituals is an easy way to make communication a regular and enjoyable part of your relationship, not something that only happens during conflict or special occasions. Thanks for reading. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more tips on how to build better communication in your relationship.